Hey y'all, Sarah here at Hillside Acres. So today's video is going to be about our goats. We're just going to give y'all a little update. We did in fact add Aladdin, which is our male goat, in with our female goats. And we also have a new goat. You can see him over here at the feeder with Toby. His name is Templeton. He is going to be a little weather. Unfortunately, he was born and he only has one testicle. So the friends of ours, they were going to raise him to be a meat goat and then just grew too attached to him. So they didn't. We're either going to band him and keep him as a pet goat to just keep Aladdin company, so that way he doesn't have to be alone when he's over in his separate pen away from the girls. Or we might also raise him out and eat him ourselves. It just depends on what we end up doing. He is a very small goat for his size. His mom was also very small, so that may have a lot to do with it. But anyways, we have all of our goats running together. We know for sure that Persia and Pocahontas have both come back into heat in November. Hopefully, we're keeping a really close eye on them, that they do not come back into heat now in December. So that way, hopefully Aladdin did get the job done last month and what doesn't keep pushing us farther and farther back, because originally we had all of our goats were going to be due to kid in March, and now, since they both did for sure come back into heat in November, Pocahontas and Persia are going to be due in April. Dixie, I have not seen come back into a standing heat, which is just a very noticeable, tail flagging, being very interested in Aladdin. So I'm still hoping and praying that she was in fact bred by the gorgeous silver buck that she was in with prior to us purchasing her. If she was in fact bred by that buck and it did take, then she will have her kids in March. If she doesn't kid in March and then she ends up kidding in April, then she might have come back into heat and we didn't realize it, and then Aladdin hopefully have taken care of it. Hopefully for sure though, if she wasn't bred, Aladdin was able to breed her, because we do want to try to get everybody to kid in April. That would be the most ideal. I want everybody to kind of kid together, just so that way it makes milking and everything like that a little easier. But yeah, I just figured I would give y'all a little update on the goats today. Sorry we didn't post any videos last week. Our whole family was sick. It was just one kid got sick, and then that kid would start feeling better, and one of our other kids would get sick, and then I got sick, and then Corey got sick. So it was just a whole mess of everybody being sick last week. So I figured it'd be good to kind of jump back into things with a goat up. There is sweet Dixie. Like I said, I have not seen her come back into heat. That doesn't mean that she hasn't. I just haven't seen signs of it. So I'm hoping that she was in fact bred by the gorgeous silver buck she was with. If not, then Aladdin does have amazing milk genetics, and he will make beautiful babies as well. Pocahontas, Persia's right there by Dixie. She did in fact come back into heat in November. I think it was November 8th or 9th. I have it written down on the calendar. She was in a standing heat, was flagging, was very interested in spending time with Aladdin. And so hopefully she was bred and was able to get that taken care of in November. We are in the process, like I said, just keeping a close eye on them to see, if anyone comes back into heat in December. Hopefully they don't. If they do, hopefully, Aladdin can just get that taken care of. That's why they do spend 2 months together. They would have spent 2 months together, but we ended up adding Dixie, and I didn't want to keep her alone, and I didn't really want her in with Aladdin, because when we got her, she had just come off of her heat cycle, and so I wanted to kind of keep her away from Aladdin, so that way hopefully he wouldn't be, I don't know exactly how that works, but I do feel like if he would have been trying to breed her, that might not have been the greatest, having just been bred. Sorry, Toby. Sit down, Toby. Sit. Toby is our livestock guardian, and with all of the goats together over here, he is over here with our goats. We keep him with our goats. He does really good with the goats. And the only reason we normally keep him in the bigger pen with all of the female goats. The only reason we had him over there was Aladdin. Toby, sit down. Sorry, he's trying to knock. Oh, Toby, sit, no jump. See, he sits. As long as you continue to give him lovins, he will sit and be a good boy. Sorry. So as long as we had just gotten Aladdin, and I prefer to keep a wether or have a second buck to keep with our bucks, so that way they don't have to be alone. Because we didn't have a wether or a second buck at that time, we did have Toby over there with Aladdin. But now that they're all together, Toby's over here, and then now that we got Templeton, which this is Templeton. Hi, Templeton. Hi, buddy. Whoop. That is Templeton. And then there's Pocahontas in the hay trough. Hi! You're supposed to be eating that hay, not laying around in it. What are you doing? You being a lazy baby. When I came out here, Toby was laying in the hay trough. So as soon as Toby got out, Pocahontas had to come deem her spot back and had to come jump back in there. That's the beagles. They're just throwing a fit because they see me out here and they think that they got to yell at me. But anyways, that's just a little goat update. Aladdin will stay in here. Well, Aladdin and Templeton will stay in here with the girls until the end of December, and then starting in January, Aladdin and Templeton will be moved over to our other pen over here, and the girls will stay in this big pen with Toby. And hopefully we will start getting some signs of having babies come in April. Hopefully, like I said, we're going to keep a close eye on them, just kind of see if anybody comes back into heat this heat cycle, which will be in December. That is one positive thing about kind of keeping up with your doe's heat cycles. Nigerian dwarfs heat, like they come into heat every 21 to 28 days. And so if you can kind of catch them and just keep an eye on them of when they are flagging, when they are trying to mount the other goats, when they, like we had Aladdin over here in this pen. And so the way we noticed that Pocahontas had come back into heat is she was standing on this far side closest to that pen, sticking her head through the fence, kind of just screaming and hollering at Aladdin. And then we also saw her and Pocahontas, her and Persia, mounting each other. And so we were like, well, it's been long enough. We'll just go ahead and add them all back in. So hopefully Dixie was in fact bred by the silver buck that she was with before we purchased her. If not, then like I said, Aladdin comes from some really, really good genetics. He has starbucks on both sides of his lines. His mother, we actually had his mom and his dad. His dad throws some gorgeous doelings with just beautiful udders. And so hopefully he will be able to throw those genetics as well. And will make us some gorgeous does. And his pairing with Dixie would also make very beautiful babies. But yeah, so there's just a little update. We added little Templeton. We added Aladdin in with, we have Persia, Dixie, and Pocahontas. And so, yeah, these are our goats. They're just kind of enjoying their beautiful day. And like I said, we do raise Nigerian dwarfs. It's been kind of chilly yesterday, so today the sun is out and they have been enjoying it.